Gentlemen, hello. Mario, yes, I am ready to crush you noobs. How has your day been so far? Did you get the opportunity to play Jan or Sebastian and Benjamin already? Hey Aquila, how you doing? Odd emotes? Okay. They're not mine, Aquila, at the very least. Hey Grandmaster, hey DDC, how are you guys doing? Hiyata good morning. Yeah, it's an 8 a.m. broadcast because we are celebrating the 6 year anniversary of chess24, the playing site. And we will have top tier people streaming throughout the day today. So there will be action for you, Hiyata until this evening. We already had Jan Gustafsson and the Norwegian kids, Sebastian Mihailov and Benjamin Haldorsen. And now it's my turn because I am not important enough to get prime time space. Can you believe that? So after me is Laurent Fressinet. And then there's the legend himself, Mr. Gadakomsky. There's Sam Shanklin, Irina Krush, there is just going to be a row of very interesting people. And we're going to celebrate Chess24's sixth birthday. Primetime space, yeah, none of that for me. Hey D-Rasp, how are you doing? What time is Miss Tactics and Miss Strategy? Oof. I don't think Supiko is streaming. Unfortunately, Hiyata we need to get her back into the loop. I feel Magnus, I think, is still on his vacation. Have you guys seen those pictures he's been posting? Is in French Polynesia. I have no idea where that is. I'm guessing it's somewhere in the South Pacific, seeing as it has the name Polynesia in it. But it looked pretty amazing. Hey Mantrol, need to hammer a few of the games. I will try my best, but you're welcome to give it a shot as well. Kamsky is the star of the day. If you think so, Torg, I should mention that there's a special offer they have for this birthday. I'm going to put this up here. If you buy a year of premium today using the birthday code, birthday 2020, you can get a famous effing legend hoodie included in that. I was almost sleeping still, Aquila. Unfortunately, I got a cold this weekend. So I have been basically just lying in bed all day. And now I'm going to crush you guys for 2 hours and then I'm going to go back to bed. Feeling lucky to have Srinath and Norway Gnomes. Srinath is pretty good, Siddharth, but we feel even better about Arjun, who's just been a complete monster every time he has played. I also saw that he sacrificed his queen for the bishop pair in his tournament this week. So Arjun is really living up to the gnome's expectations of what a good player is supposed to be. Actually, let me see if I can find that tweet because that was so insane. Hey Koopy, hey big boy, hey Julie Lou, hey Arvin. Three or five, both is good. I prefer three, but at the same time, I tend to lose more games in 3 minutes. So either is good. Hey, Christoph, how was Kragera? We don't talk about that, Grand Maestro. It was horrible. Hey, Abdu. Hey, Dutch Defender. I'm considering playing the Dutch, actually. There was a guy who played it against me in the last round yesterday, and it seems less bad than I previously thought. Okay, here's the tweet. Let me see if I can copy it into chat. The guy sacrificed his queen for 2 bishops and a pawn. Maybe it was 2 pawns, but it was very cool. Lamb Sauce, if you would like to send me a challenge, follow the instructions in Twitch chat right now. Bonjour, Phoenix. Comment ça va? Okay, let's play some games. I have more challenges incoming than I have ever seen before. You guys do know that, I stream sometimes when it's not chess24's birthday as well. You're very welcome to come challenge me at that time as well. First, I'm going to give you this position to kind of warn you that this is what could happen. If you play against me, you could get checkmated by a pawn. It happens more frequently than you'd think. But first off is, wow, Daddy Cool is at the first in line. And he has challenged to a 1-minute game. Where I have a 3,000 rating after crushing all of you guys previously. And I don't think Daddy Cool can do anything about this. My supremacy in 1 minute is undisputed. Hey Nisha, how are you doing? Torque, stick to a language where I partly understand what you're saying. Spanish isn't one of them. I learned to say comment ça va in school, Thulu. But yeah, I have heard rumors that when you actually know how to speak the language, you can have some shortcuts. This man is about to get checkmated on the H file. Feels bad, man. He's preparing to give a check on me. Maybe I can do something to him first. I'm kind of assuming this is going to be checkmate somehow. But I gotta admit, I haven't seen it yet. Okay, I just allowed a perpetual. Bye-bye, 3,000 rating. That was not very good. Wow. Yeah, my head is not working. That's my excuse. I don't even want to see how much I lost. How much rating I lost. Wow, Daddy Cool, well done. I thought I had you there. I gotta admit, I was not very scared of anything. But apparently I should have been. Hey, Daddy Cool. Good game. Yeah, I'm not sure I am willing to accept a good game comment there, but it was something. It was a game. Chess Weeb, hey, how are you doing? Hey, Bomb DC, morning to you. Magnus played the last few seconds. I'm not really sure about that. I think that was entirely on me. I was massively underestimating what his queen could do. I wasn't very concerned. I thought a queen can't really do much, but apparently queens, you gotta have some respect for them. I already addressed this, Aquila. I'm not very happy about my tournament, as you probably could tell from my results. The swindle? Yeah. I'm not sure it was a swindle, though. We actually have so many people in the line that if you're not here when the game starts, we're just going to skip over you. Yeah, I removed that command, Slumka, but yes, very good use of the war command. Yeah, it was a tough match against Narayanan Mantral. I did okay, but he was just so much faster than me, and he managed to get a lot of points in situations where I felt like I was doing okay. And is Civ 5 coming up soon? No, Mario, I don't think so. I don't know. I might not be streaming a lot this next. I don't know. As part of my bad result this week, I'm kind of I'm evaluating my life. Let's put it like that. Civ 5 not likely to happen. I'm actually kind of busy. I'm going to Hamburg this week. And I'm recording a new video series. Actually, I'm recording 3 video series. But the main one we're gonna mention is the black repertoire, the sister of my E4 white repertoire, which is gonna be pretty exciting. Evaluating your life sounds heavy. Yeah, but it is kind of heavy, Mario. Because I am not really happy with how my head worked this past week. It was very rough. I lost a lot of rating points, but more so than the rating points, it's about it's just that I played poorly, um, and so I need to figure out whether I can be a carefree person who doesn't care about chess results, and I don't know. Whenever I lose chess games, I get in a really bad mood. So either I need to learn how to accept chess game losses or I need to start playing better. And if I'm going to play better, then I need a plan. Go on a fishing trip? Wow. Is that how you do it, Burns? I think we're going to take with the rook here. There's going to be some very dangerous threats against black's position, with the rook coming down to d7. I'm hoping to get the knight to d6, maybe a bishop to c4. Suddenly, all of my pieces are making a lot of sense. It's interesting that you say that, Chess Weeb, because I think I get flagged a lot because I choke and don't want to play bad moves. I find it very strange that you have a different opinion. Laborg coming in with the 19-month resub. Thank you so much for the support in the Twitch Prime. Best way to not feel bad about losing is not to play. Yes, and that, frankly, is one of the main strategies I have employed lately, Mantrol. But I actually now to this week I was feeling good about chess. I thought I was gonna do well at my tournament, and it just wasn't meant to be. Yeah, Laborg. Unfortunately, we're only playing against chess24 premium members. Oh, I'm getting low on time, but I think I have this under control. Ooh, smothered mate. Aquila called it. Hey, Remuse. How are you doing? We got the smothered mate, and my opponent resigns the move before checkmate. Don't you hate that? Should be banned. It's one move. It's not like you have any choice. Just make the move and let me checkmate you in a pretty way. So when should one resign? Honestly, Chessweeb, I think you shouldn't resign. I think it would be very interesting if we introduced some tournaments at the top level where resignations were not allowed. Seems more respectful. I don't know. You could make the argument that it's more respectful to let a person kind of complete their masterpiece. But there are some situations where like you're down a piece or something, where some may say that not resigning is disrespectful. But at the same time, I feel like there's an argument to be made that to include new people in chess, when you resign being down a pawn, or if you resign even being up a queen, but there's a checkmate in 5 moves, and it's not immediately clear to everyone why the game finished just there. I think it makes sense to play out games to checkmate. You think it would be boring to watch a winning match to the end? Well, the thing is, Christoph, if it's so easy to win that it's um if you were seriously considering resigning, it is probably very easy to win the game, which means that the opponent can probably make their moves in a couple of seconds. So what we're talking about is really just extending the game another 5 minutes. Because like when one person is clearly losing, they're not really going to put up that much of a fight. You're just going to get to the checkmate pretty early on. Yeah, when someone has a winning pawn endgame, that's a good example, Thulu. Also, people like seeing the mate. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of this. I was talking to some of the people at St. Louis Chess Club, but there seems to be, let's just say that not everyone thinks it's a good idea. I think St. Louis is more open to innovations than most, but chess is a very conservative community in terms of having a very strict preference for how we've done it in the past, which is, sometimes unfortunate. What about the mental part for someone to play on a very lost position? Yeah, I mean, it comes at a cost, but at some point you gotta ask yourself the kind of tournaments that would implement this would normally be tournaments where the players are paid to play. It would be the top tier tournaments. And for me, I think a lot of the top players are very spoiled because they think that it's all about, it's all about, um, let me see, how do I usually play this? I think a lot of the top tier players are spoiled that they're all about, well, I'm here to win chess games and that's what matters, and whichever way I deem necessary to win games is the correct way. Whereas I feel like we need to have more focus on the fact that at the end of the day, chess, like most, silly things, is entertainment. And so you actually do have to take into account what makes for the best viewer experience. And very often, players will be opposed to innovations that are supposed to increase or better the viewer experience. And sometimes you got to go against the player's wishes because the players can't always get get it the way they want it to be. Checkmate on the board is humiliating feelings for the loser. Well, I mean, if everyone does it, then kind of it's just part of the game. Um, it's humiliating losing at chess, regardless of how it happens. What openings will your black repertoire be based on? Very good question. Um, Tidy Bear. It's going to be based on a mainline Spanish, probably the Breyer, and the Queen's Gambit declined. But I need to sit down and kind of get a complete overview of all the potential side variations and what I need to cover and whatnot. I know that there were quite a few variations I didn't cover last time. Some of them were just mistakes on my part. Some of them were on purpose because you cannot cover everything. Um, and I gotta sit down and do that work. Prague Masters and Challengers had a lot of decisive games. Well, good for them. It was a very exciting tournament. You cannot prevent resignation. Of course you can. You say in the rules that you're not allowed to resign. I don't think that would be a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this game on time, unfortunately. I was playing too slowly. We were having too much of an interesting discussion. That was suboptimal move. Yeah, he threatened my bishop. Very sneaky. You're down on time? No kidding. No kidding. I can see it ticking. Yeah. Had to pre-move. Hey Jojo, how are you doing? Are you doing a Chessable course? Maybe Cairo Hulk. Actually, today I was approached with a question on whether I would be interested in doing something. So I'll keep you up to date. Hey CJ, how are you doing? Why don't the top GMs play gambits? Because they gambits are sometimes bad. I mean, the Queen's Gambit is like the most common opening in the world, almost. But it isn't really a gambit because you know you can get the pawn back. GMs prefer good openings, and gambits aren't always good openings. Coherently, Hammer allowed the mate on the board. Yeah, allowed is maybe a bit strong, but it did happen. You can just let the clock tick down. Yeah, but that would be very impolite. And also, if your argument is that not being allowed to resign will extend the game, then I mean, you. Speaking of coherent, you need to argue more coherently if your first argument is going to be, oh no, we need to allow people to resign because, you know, playing on in a losing position would be so detrimental and so time consuming. And then instead, they're just going to let their time tick down, which is number one, that actually is a violation of the rules because it would be considered unsportsmanlike conduct. Super Nezzy, you can go on the videos on demand, and then you can see from the start. Moving into a new house tomorrow. That's exciting, Jojo. I'm actually tomorrow. I'm meeting with the estate evaluator or whatever it's would be called in English. There's a guy coming to my house trying to estimate how much it's worth. It's first, well, not, maybe not the first step, but one of several steps in trying to get to sell my house. Do you personally prefer to style your games on Tall or Morphe? I don't really know too much about chess history, Mantrol. The person I have watched the most games of is Magnus, and I think I have adopted quite a few of his um, quite a bit of his play style. I have none of the calculating ability, unfortunately. Sacrificing without attacking. Wow, that hurts, mate. Oh man, that hurts. Appraisal. Yes, thank you, Neotriz. Kajabo was playing the Schliemann. Yeah, Kajabo is a funny guy. He plays the most boring stuff with white, and then he plays some really weird stuff with black. You're sure there's a grandmaster somewhere who usually plays an opening like the Latvian Gambit? I'm sure there is, Pascal. I'm also sure that grandmaster is below 2500 rating. Latvian Gambit is not gonna last you very long. Apart from Magnus, who knows the most about chess history at the top, I don't really know Chess Weeb, but it's a good question. Well, I didn't really call Kajaba funny's mate. I said his opening choices are funny, ironic. Roland Preussers plays the Latvian Gambit and made a chess24 video about it, and he is not a grandmaster. Need I say more? Oh, actually, he is a grandmaster, isn't he? Yeah, no. You know, he might risk getting that title revoked. Did I just give away this pawn for no good reason? Feels bad. I think Gelfand did something like this against me. And he just went queen c2, rook d1, d3. Very strange. On the other hand, I am now down a pawn for absolutely nothing, as far as I can tell. I don't really like giving away my pawns. Especially when, you know, the compensation for it is pretty non-existent. Wow, this is so bad. Oh, he made a series on the Yanish. Okay, that makes more sense. That's a better opening. Okay, are we gonna give up the rook? I think we are. Desperate times, desperate means, all that stuff. Yeah, not even a minor difference, Mario. Okay, he didn't go for my rook. But we're just gonna keep offering him this rook and see what happens. Wasn't Hammer 3000 when the stream started? No, Slumka, that was in 1 minute chess. Okay, now suddenly we have some compensation. We have pretty good light squared control. If I'm crazy, I can do some kind of rook f3 move in the future. Maybe I can go like g4, g5 and get my rook along the third rank. Could you elaborate on your thoughts on playing chess by feel and instinct as opposed to relying on heavy technical know-how? But feel and instinct is the same as heavy technical know-how. It's the very same thing, Sushi. You can ask a question like, how do you feel about relying on feel and instinct as opposed to just sitting and trying to calculate every possible variation? But technical know-how is the same as your intuition, same as your um, he's gonna go rook c6, which is very strange. But maybe it's gonna work for him. So my question is whether or not I should go g5 now or after. Probably we go now. Takes. I kind of want to sacrifice something, but I'm not sure it's going to work. What if we try to find a variation where we do not have to sacrifice? Rook c6 is such a strange move. But maybe it's effective. You know what? No. How do you feel about it? I don't understand what you're talking about, Burns. Winning a game positionally gives you more satisfying, or win by tactical more. I mean, I have a pretty positional play style, so I would say I like winning positionally more than the next guy. But at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's not about how you do it. And having just come off a couple of pretty hurtful, well, actually not losses, I just made a ton of draws. But I like, it was the same recipe for every game I played. I would get a really good position, and then I would try to calculate some variations, and then I would massively fail my calculations and end up actually worse. There were like 4 instances in which I had a clearly better position, and 5 moves later was worse. And that was, yeah, that was just freaky. I think we'll do this. Hey Chess Bay, how are you doing? Who are your dark horses and the candidates behind Karan and Ding? Anish. I'm really loving Anish at the moment. Have you guys seen his Instagram? It's so good. I'm really enjoying it. What would be the FIDE ceiling of someone who can't calculate anything? Well, I mean, I made 2705. So I would guess it's around there somewhere. Instagram is for young and dynamic players. Sounds great. So long as he's bringing the content, I will be the viewer. No problem. He's insta strong. Chess Bay, I can't tell whether that's the new term on the block or not. I was hanging out with some 10-year-olds. No, actually, sorry, I would get yelled at if I said that. 11-year-olds. This this past week, and I was trying to get some intel on what's hot still. And I asked them if Snapchat was still a thing, and they looked at me very strangely and said, "Yes, of course it is. Are you crazy old man?" So that the thing about TikTok taking over the world seems exaggerated. But apparently I also do need to figure out what TikTok is, because that is definitely a thing. I know Alexandra is a bit upset about TikTok taking off because their startup was on TikTok before it was big. So if their timing had been, actually if they had been slightly later with their development, they would have gotten the TikTok craze. You need to find friends your own age. But the little kids think I'm cool. No one else does. Okay, I have a somewhat winning position, I would say. But I have no time. Feels bad. Wow, he offered a draw. I was too busy pre-moving though. Hey Tagbon, how are you doing? It was the daughter of some friends of mine. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Black Monday? No, I don't care anymore, Torque. I stopped caring. I think it was like the fifth draw I made against the 2200. Then I stopped caring. And I thought, oh, what the heck. Hammer's the best. I don't know about that singularity, but I am pretty good at things that are not, chess. I cannot do that. How would I ever explain that decision to you guys? Hey, chess cadets. I'm going in the order in which people have challenged. So if you challenge me early on, then we'll play a game. My view on how to play high-rated players. Well, I don't really do that much anymore. Uh, Partly because most players are lower rated than me, so that's good. If there's ever a reason that's okay for not playing higher rated players, you being extremely good is probably one of the better ones. But yeah, I don't know if there's really a strategy. Just play your game and you hope for the best. Mm. I'll check Chess Cadet. Yeah, you're number 4 in the line. Should be fine. What do you think about how one player is better than another? Well, I mean, it's going to be different from whomever you compare, right? There can be two players of equal strength who have very different approaches. And so the reason Magnus is better than them is going to be different based on how they play. Partly the reason why Magnus is better than everyone else is because he's just better at everything. Okay, chat has no more comments. That means we have no more excuses for losing every game on time. So I'm going to speed up a little bit. I did, however, blunder all my pawns. And somehow my bishops are not very well placed. But there's room for improvement. Do you think Magnus will retain his world championship title? Yes, I think so. Well, I mean, he's always going to be, any match he plays, he's going to be the favorite. So it's very easy to say. I think he's going to keep it because that is by far the most likely. The ability to calculate more than others? I mean, in some cases, yes, that is it. But as I said, it differs from if you. I cannot say there's not one thing that makes Magnus better than all players. But there's things that makes him better. I don't really know how to say this. If you don't understand the concept of different players having different abilities, then there's no one thing that makes Magnus better, but overall he's better at most things than most other players. Magnus probably only uses the Play Magnus app. Yeah, the way he plays the opening tag bond, that wouldn't surprise me. His openings are at times less good than the other players. Yeah, I can tell that my cold is starting to be audible. Do you have any insights into Magnus's engine arrangements? No, not really. I have some suspicions, but I have no more information than the other people in the world's elite, the people who play against Magnus on a regular basis. You like Ding's chances if he wins the candidates? Okay, yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that. That sounds, that's a no for me. Wow, he really wants to push d6, huh? Okay, let's play this and then take it. Koopy, I haven't installed anything. It's just sitting in boxes in my apartment. But I'm gonna fix up my apartment a little bit this spring. So I'll get everything installed and I can give you some opinions after that. Yes, Chessweeb, I've played Ding once. It was a very, very interesting game. He has access to Alpha Zero? I mean, no. I don't think anyone has access to Alpha Zero. But everyone has access to Leela, who's based on the same kind of way of thinking about chess. And Leela is also very fond of these h4 moves. Julilu, I am playing people in the order in which the challenges arrived. You're gonna have to wait your turn. Leela only wants to play the Berlin. Yes, isn't she great? Best opening ever. Maniac? I like the Berlin. I like the Berlin before Leela said it's the best opening in the world. I'm consistent. I'm not really fond of how I play this. I feel like he can go c5 and then try to go f5. But he was too slow. Now I got the opportunity to open up a little bit and create some good squares for my pieces. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play queen f3, bishop f4, and then either knight f5 or e5. And we're probably doing good. What he should do is rook e8 and bishop f8. Get the rook to point in towards the center. MacBurnout asking about the upcoming black repertoire. Yes, I've said this a couple of times already. Um, but it's gonna be the Queen's Gambit Declined, and some Spanish mainline. But then that's just the kind of the top level stuff. But it's also going to be very tricky to go through all of the different sidelines and stuff like that. How many tactics can you solve in a day? I guess it depends on how willing I am to sit and solve tactics before I go crazy. TDC. Probably I would go crazy pretty soon. I'm getting crushed by the bishops here. I made some bad decisions. I'm not sure about this bishop f4 move. But I wasn't sure where my bishop was to be placed. But here, if I go queen f3, then he can go c5, knight f5, knight e4, I thought. But then I can take on h6. Yeah, no, this e5 move was very bad. Now black's bishops are pretty good. I don't really have any good squares for my pieces, because all of these squares are they're not protected by white pawns, so it's pretty easy for black to chase my pieces back. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Yeah, I really don't like my position. I'm seriously considering taking this knight, but even then, I'm just gonna have... Okay, actually... Okay, so he cannot go c5 because then his rook is gonna be in trouble. So maybe this is the way I can create some pressure, because it's awkward for him to protect the pawn on d5. Yeah. Okay, so we get the rook. It's a pretty big success, I would say. We still have to deal with the bishop pair, but it should be doable. What role does the state play in funding supporting chess in Norway? Um, um, I don't think the state has any funding for chess. The Norwegian Chess Federation has been very good lately at getting some support from a private stiftelse. What's that in English? Um, Foundation. Foundation. Okay, you agree, sloppy player. Then I'll stick with foundation. There's a private foundation that has been giving a bit of money to chess lately. Um, but I don't think the state has any support directly. There's some support for the youth, Norwegian youth chess organization, and there might be something for momskompensation. I don't really know how it works, but there might be some indirect like tax breaks or something like that. But I don't think the Norwegian government supports chess directly. Do chess players get any of that sweet, sweet oil money? Yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, just the fact that we live in Norway gives us a lot of opportunities we wouldn't otherwise have had. Um, and Norway being a wealthy and prosperous country is definitely part of it. Um, so indirectly, of course, oil money and general prosperity is beneficial also for Norwegian chess players. Hmm. I'm very tempted to play this move. Because now he either has to move his rook, which will um, mean he cannot castle, or he can move that pawn. But now bishop c4 is just the pressure against the weakened square on e6, but also the fact that he cannot castle is problematic for black. What result do you expect from Giri at the candidates? I mean, I have some faith in Anish. I think he could do okay. But I mean, the candidates is a ridiculously tough tournament. Everyone is gonna. You can't predict in advance who's gonna be the surprise because everyone's capable. But yeah, I think it's a pretty new situation this year that we have two pretty clear favorites for the tournament in Karana and Ding. They have just been on a higher level than the rest. I feel like that wasn't really the case previously. What percentage of all money gets invested in that big Norwegian investment fund? I don't really know the details there, Mario. And I don't know if oil money is like separated from the rest. If you like have one, the oil money is per definition like taxes on oil companies. But I don't know if that's kind of separated into a single, its own. I don't know what word I'm looking for, or whether it's just part of regular taxes, government's income, stuff like that. Sometimes bishops are better than rook and bishop. I mean, there's definitely occasions where that could be correct, Abdu, but in general, I would say you often want to have an extra pawn as well. If you're gonna give up an exchange, you probably want a pawn to help you out, cover some squares. Never play f6, says Ben Feingold. Well, I kind of forced my opponent to do it DDC, and it worked out very well for me. Mantrol, when you're mentioning the coronavirus, I wanna hear your opinion on this. When do you think it's racist mentioning the coronavirus just because Ding is Chinese? Where would you kind of put the... Would you say it's okay if he's from a town with a lot of people infected by corona? Or do you think like just the fact that he's Chinese is good enough for you? Where do you kind of put the... It's very unfortunate for Ding. Wow, Mantrol, is Ding infected by the coronavirus? That is very unfortunate. Yeah, him dying from the coronavirus is going to be a big loss for the game. Now, I think if the Chinese players were actually going to be unable to play in the candidates, then that's definitely something we should talk about. But as far as I understand, they're going to be able to play, so... Yeah, Weishurst and Burns. I'm kind of with you guys. Coronavirus is a nasty flu. It's I was looking at some stats on survival rates. And while 98% survival rate for corona, that's pretty serious. I mean, 2% lethal. I mean, it's a lot. Normally, 2% is not that much, but when it's about mortality, it's pretty massive. But compared to like the Ebola virus, um, which was like 50% lethal, it's just a completely different ball game. Your brother just went on a study trip to Italy. No, I think you're fine. I think most of the people dying are like 80-year-olds and people with reduced immune systems already. I feel like I'm going to Hamburg this week, so I'm not liking the timing of getting a cold and the reduced immune system and all of that which follows. But I'm not very concerned. My mom is a bit concerned, but she, that's what moms do. For the black repertoire, yes, Dirk. Wasn't B4 a draw? No. Yet. This is definitely not a draw. Normal flu has a 2% mortality rate as well. No way, Burns. That is. I guess then you're distinguishing a flu from a cold. Yeah, I guess I don't really know what the difference between the flu and a cold is. Ooh, that's a good point, Weishurst. 2% is based on the current number of known infected people, but probably there are many more people infected and not registered. That's a very good point. Flu is virus based, but I thought colds are viruses as well. I don't know. What is it? It's either virus or bacteria. And if it's bacteria, you can get some of the good drugs to stop it. But if it's virus, it just has to pass by itself. That's the one, right? Will we all die? No. I'm guessing you're a fake Jan Gustafsson, right? That probably gives you a ban. I'm gonna ban you, and then if you are the real Jan, you can send me a message on Slack. We don't do imposters here. Colds and flus are both viruses. Yeah, okay. And you just gotta power through. Feels bad. The good drugs. Now we're talking. Yeah, Tagba. I had an experience in Turkey. Oh wow, wow! It was the real youngest of son. Wow. Oh man. How could I know? He was asking if everyone was gonna die. That is kind of Jan humor, though. Okay, well, let's make him a VIP to avoid this situation in the future. Uh, uh, then to remember how to do all these different settings, and I'm gonna lose on time. Okay, we good. German humor? I don't know if it's German or if it's just Jan. It's a bit unclear. Did you just ban your supervisor? I unbanned him as well. It's fine. We good. I'm trying to. I never remember what I recommended in the repertoire series here. I feel like it's this one. The more trades, the better. German humor is an oxymoron. Oh, man. Okay, so bishop here prevents me from playing knight c3, which I think is clever. But then I think I go knight c3 anyway. I think this is... I feel like this is something I recommended in the video series. For some reason, now I was to give a check. Maybe here. This looks better though. Probably I was supposed to give a check. But I'm amazed at myself for remembering this much already. Hey Spectre, how are you doing? What standing does Magnus have with the non-chess playing population? Magnus is well known in Norway. Very well known. He cannot go on the streets without being recognized. Wow, he just gave me a pawn for free. This man has just decided to win on time. Feels bad. He's probably going to succeed. Now he's going to trade this knight. And now we're going to flag him. I am sick of getting flagged time after time. And this time for a good reason also. So I was, making sure we don't have any more confusions with Jan. By the way, thank you, Aquila, for gifting a sub to Jan. He has now been made a VIP against my better judgment, but in order to avoid similar situations in the future. Does Magnus know your repertoire better than you? No, I don't think so. There's a chance Anish does, though. Anish was reading my repertoire. I'm very long on time. Feels bad. There's an off chance I'm going to checkmate him, but I would say it's pretty off. That was a good move. Looks like you're playing chess. Wow, yeah, it's shocking ordinary. I should stop immediately torturing myself by playing this rubbish game. Why don't you play with increments? Because people aren't challenging with increments, Marcin. I take whatever challenges I can get. Roland made a series about it? Yeah, but did you see the way I played, Kuterch? If everyone knew the Hammer repertoire, no one would buy Roland's video series. Is there a bigger star than Magnus currently in Norway? I would think so, yeah. Time to say you're an FFL and go away? Yeah, that would be one plan. Doing some stuff for uni? Sounds good, Spectre. I'm struggling with a cold. And also general dismay at my chess playing abilities. But it's fine. Am I supposed to take this one? I feel like I am. No, I don't think I was supposed to take that one. Feels bad. More people in Europe knows Holland than Magnus. Yeah, but that wasn't the case for the last decade, though. There will always be some people having like an extreme period. But yeah, it's soccer is very popular in Norway. It's not it's not so strange. I think I'm gonna take this one. Handball also big? Yeah, but nowhere close to soccer. Is ice skating popular? Mario, I don't think you fully understand the concept of ice skating because people don't really compete in ice skating. Like, there's not like people just trying to ice skate and, basically it's a competition of not falling down on your butt. There's speed skating. Oh, that queen is trapped. Feels bad. There's speed skating. There's the ice dancing, whatever you call that. There's hockey. There's bandy. There's Norwegians are good on skates, but ice skating in itself is not. Oh, maybe you're not asking about the sport. Maybe you're just asking about whether ice skating is popular, in which case I have mocked you for no reason. I'm very sorry. Oh no, you did mean as a sport. Then I'm not sorry. What about curling? Big in Norway? It was at some point, yeah. It's like curling is big in Norway every Winter Olympiad, and then when it's not a Winter Olympiad, nobody cares about curling. I tried once. It was interesting. It's very difficult, deceivingly difficult. Do people in Norway like the Vikings TV show? I haven't really heard anyone talk about it. You like it better than Game of Thrones? Okay, maybe I should check it out. Wood stoves common? Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think the answer is to that. We don't really use gas in any circumstance. Whenever I have like a wait, stove as in comfy. Maybe I misunderstood what stove means. I mean, we have electrical appliances, but for heating, there's for like fireplace and stuff like that, we use wood, not gas. There's a couple of Norwegian hockey players in the NHL. No, there's not trackpad. There's one. I think there's another guy, but he got relegated to the farmer league team. I think we only have like one guy in the NHL, and then Finland and Sweden has like a gazillion. So Norway is actually not that big on hockey. Yeah, we have some good people coming up, Dvirtus. The golfer Victor Hovland, he won his first PGA Tour tournament. But also there's this tennis player. Uh, um, I forget his name. Something Ruud. I was about to say Christer Ruud, but I think that's his father. Are there any Norwegian actors in the show? I would think so, Tweety. I think the Vikings has. Well, I know Game of Thrones has a Norwegian with a huge beard. So I kind of assume there's some Norwegians with a huge beard in the Vikings TV show as well. Cusper, thank you, Sloppy Player. Wow, Spectre, you're a Bears, such a big Bears fan, huh? Well, I'll hope the Bears make it then, but getting ahead of the French team is going to be really tricky. Greetings from Finland. Hey, Naki, how are you doing? Curling team has awesome pants. Yeah. No, we should have. Oh, sorry. We should have done the curling pants ourselves. Every Norwegian national team should have gotten those pants. They were so good. Well, I hope you make it out, Spectre. It's going to be a very interesting event, the chess party in Norway. Best Norwegian food? Kålhjortstappe. In general, Norwegian food is there's a lot of root vegetables because there's there's limitations to what is able to grow in Norway. So we're good with our root vegetables, and I like the kålhjortstappe very much. Apparently, kålhjort is rutabaga or something in English, which is very strange to me because I've never heard that word before. But, you know. You guys got pizza? Yeah, we got pizza. Yeah, that was just mentioned, Mac. We were talking about Norwegian athletes. These days, everything grows everywhere? No, Sacha. No, that is not true. There's quite a few things we cannot grow in Norway in our climate. Best Norwegian word? Wow. That's a tough one. I'm gonna need some thinking time for that one. Do we take this pawn? I feel like my position is horrible. I don't understand how it happened though. Probably I should give this a check. You guys don't do greenhouses? We do, Mario. We do. But I mean, there's space limitations, no? Yeah, I've been to India once, Mantrol. I was in Chennai for 3 days. At the end of the World Championship match, Magnus played against Vichy. So I traveled over there after the match had finished to celebrate. How often do you see the Northern Lights? I've never seen the Northern Lights in Norway, Ramim. I've seen the Northern Lights once, and that was when I was in Reykjavik in Iceland. So it's I don't know. It's if it's because of a lack of going outside, or if I'm too far south. But maybe a combination of both. It's not that often you would go to like Tromsø and northern Norway in the winter because it's cold. Chess24 has the same birthday as me. Happy birthday, Specs. Now we know. I'm kind of annoyed by this knight. Oh! That has happened before. Okay, I guess we'll flag him. I'm so sick of that. Any special plans for the chess party? No, not really. I think it's gonna be good. I really want to play some soccer, so I'm hoping that we can get a gang to play some soccer. May in Norway is amazing, so the timing is very optimal. No burns. Northern Lights in Oslo are not very common. Soccer sub battles. Are you up for it, Ulan? If we have enough people, I really want to do that. I also heard some rumors about people's soccer playing abilities being better than you would expect. Some hidden talents out there. My pieces are just horrendously placed. Come to Toronto to play soccer? That's tempting, trackpad. But I struggle just traveling to northern Oslo to play soccer with the other chess guys. I'm not sure I would make it to Toronto for a game. Okay, but it's a deal all on. We're on for soccer at the chess party. It's gonna be fun. Hey, Bohemio. Do you like paying nearly 40% income tax in Norway? I don't really mind. I think people who complain about taxes are, yeah, I'm not a big fan of those people. Because most of the people who complain are very well off. They're complaining for no reason. I'd rather pay 40% in Norway and get all the social security benefits and, universal health care and stuff like that than paying, whatever percentage you pay in the US. I'm getting checkmated. Feels bad. This is very bad. Okay. We survived miraculously. We survived for long enough to flag him. Finally, I am the one being the jerk. Having gotten flagged 4 times, I feel, in winning positions. Finally, I'm the one who gets the flag in a bad situation. And frankly, the bad situation wasn't all my fault either. It was the silly bug. Silly bug. I just touched the knight and then my rook captured it. So what had happened was that I had moved my rook and prepared to put it on the d4 square and then changed my mind by, for instance, moving the rook out of the board to reset. But my problem is when I do stuff like that, it doesn't reset because now the rook is highlighted for some silly reason. And once you've highlighted one of your pieces, it's as if you clicked on that piece. And when you then click on a square, so I was trying to pick up the knight and kind of show how it was being annoying. But once I clicked on the knight, having the rook highlighted, it makes the move. It's really annoying. It's click to move instead of drag to move. I don't like it. But I had the same issue at chess.com as well. And here, now that the rook is not highlighted, then I can move the knight around. But when I let it go back where it came from, if I then touch the rook, oh, then it, wow. Wow, the click to move is even based on that. Wow. You have to do it in order. Because this should have worked. Highlighting the square you want to go to and the square you want to go from. That's a unique move. There's only one piece that can move from that square to that square. So it's also very strange that they have it, that you have to do it in like the order that you have to click your own piece first and then the square you want to go to. But I guess otherwise it would bug out or something. Brilliant rucksack and flag. Yeah, that's what I'm known for at DDC. Yeah, it's very frustrating, Thulu. You had a similar problem on chess.com aspects? Yeah, no, I tried putting that I only want to drag pieces in my settings, and even that didn't fix it. Do you like having wildcards for the candidates? I think it's fine, Dwertus. I don't have a big problem with it. Hey Alec, how are you doing? Okay, we have an incoming 1 minute challenge. Exciting. Usually I'm cruising through the 1 minute wins. But we'll see if I can make it happen now. Because I got into some trouble in the previous 1 minute game. We'll try to stay out of trouble for this one. Did this man just attack my guy so many times that I cannot defend? We're just going to take this one. we do it like that. This is how we play chess. We're mad. Mad people. Are you gonna have to go back? Feels bad. Am I gonna be tempted to play this move? No, let's just take it. Busy, huh, Alec? How are you enjoying the new Fortnite season? Change rules for wildcards? No, I think the rules were fine, Matthew. The reason we got Alexyenko instead of Karyakin was because the rules were stricter than previously. Karyakin couldn't get the wildcard spot because he hadn't done well enough in one of the other qualifiers. So if anything, I would say that the wildcard rules have been become much stricter. Um, and that's why Alexyenko was the only Russian eligible for the wild card, because he was the only one fulfilling those pretty strict criteria of having this and this for rating, and having some other stuff as well. Having done very well in some of the qualifiers and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Alec, but top 2 by rating instead of 1 by rating probably gets the correct field. Maybe. I mean, rating is a pretty good. It's a pretty good system for chess. But even Maxim, I mean, Maxim himself said that rating was a silly thing to do. He would be the beneficiary if it was 2 rating spots instead of 1. But Maxim thought no, rating spots are silly because it largely benefits the one with the highest rating at the beginning of whatever sort of average over a year where you start. Um, and I hear what Maxim is saying, but I also think that, you know, having a high rating is beneficial. I guess what Maxim was suggesting is that you could have like performance ratings instead to kind of calculate people's performances over the year as if they started at the same rating. It would be maybe a bit complicated, but you could do something like that. There's always going to be someone who has objections to a certain way of qualifying and whatnot. And I feel that a lot of the people complaining about, oh no, we can't have this kind of candidates because these people are not, you know, they're not deserving. And then it's like, well, who is deserving? Is the guy who won the World Cup, a 1 month long tournament with just 2 matches of 2 games each? A lot of people say that's a lot of, very, very random who wins it, which is not really true because, I mean, it's always a really, really strong player who wins, but it could be like top 16 guys have about the same amount of chance to win it. Um, and then, there's the Grand Swiss, where someone's going to say, well, the Swiss system is not optimal for qualifying and whatnot. And at some point, you're going to end up with just someone saying, oh, we should just have the 7 highest rated players in the world. plus the loser of the previous World Championship match. And I don't know. You need to decide somehow who's gonna be in the tournament, and I think this one is as good as any. The system has been pretty stable for years, says Riata Man. Yeah, which I think is another reason to keep it very similar to what we've had. I think the fact that we've had the same system for the World Championship so many years in a row now is very, very good, and we should strive to keep that going. They need to prevent situations like Giri just dropping out of the tourney because of the rating. No, I don't think so. I think if he's not getting paid to play, then it should be his choice whether he wants to play or not. And I think specifically in the Giri case, the fault was at the organizers. It was the organizers of the Grand Swiss, chess.com actually, who either didn't have or didn't enforce their contract. Because people withdrawing after a certain date or something, that should be regulated by contract. And normally, if he gets paid to play, then a contract is fair. If he doesn't get paid to play, then, having him sign a contract is pretty iffy already, in my opinion. If you're gonna have someone sign away some rights, that should come at a cost. Maybe they had it in the contract and Giri was allowed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jake. I don't see any reason to criticize Giri because either it was the organizers who didn't enforce the contract, or it was just, okay, according to the contract. And either way, I don't think Anish is to blame. Why did they turn away from the intersonals? Intersonals, I'm not sure I like that, but yeah. I guess you could make some sort of a complicated system with coefficients, similar to what soccer is doing. And that, but already now we do have zonals. It's just that the zonals are a prelude to the World Cup. So zonals still exist, and there's still the problem of how many spots do you give to which regions of the world. For instance, in the U.S. Championship, they have like 4 spots into the World Cup and a national championship, which is outrageous. I've said this a couple of times before, but having spots for the World Cup in national championships is not good. And it hasn't been fixed. So zonals kind of do exist, but zonals also have problems that have not been fixed in how to distribute a certain amount of spots between the different continents. Does chess stuff feature in your dreams? Not very often, Guia. Do pros obsess about the World Championship nearly as much as amateurs? That is a very strange question. I'm not sure people obsess, neither pros nor amateurs. but I would say pros are probably more interested in the World Championship than most people. But we have a different understanding of what's going on. And so I don't know how to explain it. Virtus, you need to read up on the rules. You're not allowed to have you're not allowed to nominate someone for wildcard who's below 2725 rating. Or is it 2700? I think it's 2725. I think they upped it. Or maybe it's 2700 with those additional. You're making arguments against something that already is not allowed. Read up on the rules and then we can have a discussion. No trackpad. I don't really have a favorite team. For a long time, I was close to saying Tottenham, but now they got rid of both Ericsson and Pochettino. So, they got rid of my two reasons for liking Tottenham. What if all the main countries' championship champions had a spot? Yeah, I mean, Kenny, it's an interesting thought, but at the same time, there's some countries that have more good chess players than others. So it would mean that of the top like 100 players in the world, only 30 would be allowed to participate in that tournament. If you only have one person per country. Irved, thank you for the 100 bits. But Bergvin, yeah, he's a new one, I'll lie. Not 2725. Okay, I'll look it up. I think it was 2725 before, and then maybe they added some additional rules, which means that they lowered it back to 2700. Here's the rules for the wild card. This player must have participated in at least two of the three qualifying tournaments, the World Cup, the Grand Swiss, or the Grand Prix, and must also have met one of the following conditions: highest non-qualifier in the World Cup, highest non-qualifier in the Grand Swiss, or highest non-qualifier in the Grand Prix, or in the top 10 by average rating from February 2019 to January 2020. Four people were eligible: MVL, Alexienko, Mamdyarov, and Aronyan. Anand was ninth in the rating lists, but only participated in the Grand Swiss, and thus was ineligible to be picked as the wildcard player. So literally only four people met the requirements to be the wild card. So Alexenko being chosen is like already 25%. And then he was Russian, so the Russian organizers wanted him. I don't have a problem with it. Vishy just didn't care. Well, I suspect Vishy knew he wasn't getting a wild card anyway. If he wanted to qualify, well, he didn't really try to qualify, really, Mario, since he didn't participate in the Grand Prix or the World Cup. Yeah, I think the wild card needing to have above 2,700 was the last cycle, and they altered it for this cycle, clearly to encourage people into playing these qualifying events. So you saw one of the reasons not that many people were eligible was that there wasn't that many who had played enough of these events. But yeah, literally only 4 people were eligible. Now Alexenko was one of them. And when only 4 people are eligible, it basically tells you that regardless of their rating, they have had to endure some pretty strict um, rules in order to get in. Yeah, Fressinet is playing after me, Arun, in this uh, chess24 birthday Banter Blitz celebration. What do you think Alexenko will score at the candidates? Uh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. He needs to play a mini match against Fress. No, I beat him in our previous game. I'm pretty happy with that stat right now. Fortunately, Fress has no opinions on the wild card. And then Fress himself comes into chat saying, ha ha ha. Fress, for those of you who don't know, he's really fond of pain blanc, which means that he's French, which means that he thinks MVL should have gotten the wild card. How did the tournament go? We don't talk about it, Jake. It was a big disaster. Who will be doing commentary for the candidates? I don't really know. Maybe Fress knows actually. Maybe Fress is doing the commentary, honestly. I know that Svidler is busy. He's working with Svidler is working with Alexenko. But maybe it's something like Fress and Jan. Fress is doing commentary in French. Okay. Do you know who's doing English? Jan in English with very nice guests. Okay. One very, very famous. Who could that one very famous guy be? I'm gonna put up something on my screen. This is my suspicion. The guy with the chess24 video series. I don't actually know, but that's why I feel okay about speculating. But that would be sorry, we're in the game. That would be my guess. Another one? Wow. One very, very famous, and it's not Magnus. I'm disappointed. I feel tricked. Now chat is speculating it might be the famous effing legend. Speaking of which, if you're interested in becoming a famous effing legend yourself, there's a special offer on today for a free hoodie if you extend your membership by a year. Okay, let's make sure we finish the stream on a good note. Let's see if we can win this game. Okay, he's moving his knight to f4, which is immediately making me less optimistic about getting any points in this game. That seems like a very solid plan. How do we deal with this problem? Oh, man. I thought I was playing this okay, but it's looking as though maybe white was doing well all the time. Am I getting crushed? I can't tell. Cheated by using code hammer? Yeah, that's your mistake though, Yata man. Chess24 seems to have a lot of these special discount codes. You feel cheated, but maybe I feel cheated. I don't understand what you're talking about tactics in chess. Prices on chess24 like on chess.com. I don't really understand what you're saying. Good man, Jake. Is there a prize for winning a chess game in this Banter Blitz? No. Well, I mean, the prize is that you get to humiliate me in front of tons of viewers. Are you saying that's not good enough for you? You're very, very greedy. Man. I'm not such a big fan of my position. I need to do something about this guy. Yeah, this is very bad. You will buy a hoodie when it's a hammer on it. Good man, Mike Burnout. We'll start negotiations immediately with chess.com using hammers in their merch. I will refer to my marketing director for a very hefty fee to use such symbols so closely related to my brand. You're late? What are you talking about? I'm late. I'm getting destroyed. Okay, that was good for me. I got rid of one of his most serious pawns. That pawn was creating so much trouble. He really should have moved it forward, after which I would have been completely dead. But now I'm envisioning some serious chances for me. This turned around in that one move, and now I'm going to win this game. Tactics, this is actually my last game today. I am being Lochaf Resine is taking over momentarily just as we finish this game. And then you can challenge him instead. He goes by the username Zlatan56. And while he may look 56 years old, that is not his age. It is actually unknown to me, the reasoning for the 56. You cannot pronounce my name either. F's sake. Underbunde, thank you so much for the 8-month resub. Frez is on the chess24 chat saying that, oh, after all these years, you still cannot pronounce my name. But he doesn't know how to pronounce my name. So, I mean, what's he complaining about? At least I'm trying to make an effort. Oh, wow, he took that one. I didn't even see that. My bad. He's been saying Jean-Louis to me for years. He's not even willing to try to learn. Wow, I'm almost getting checkmated. Let's do this. Feels safer. I can hide my king over here. Okay, we get the win. Frez is taking over. We're going to send the raid to the chess24 channel. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who didn't beat me on time. It's appreciated. We'll see you back again soon enough. I'm actually traveling this week, going to Hamburg to do the video series. Check out the video series command in chat. And if you haven't already, you should look at my white repertoire. I'm making a black repertoire this week, so it's gonna complement each other. If you're still looking for a game against a Grandmaster, if you didn't get a game against me during these 2 hours, then I'm still making an effort. I'm still trying. I may say it wrong, but I haven't given up. I will keep going, keep trying to pronounce Lohan. I even have a cold, so if anything, the nasal sounds should be better than normal. Yes, we're going to send you over to his stream. It's on the chess24 channel, I suspect. Just going to double check that he's alive before we send you over there. Currently offline over there. Currently hosting GMJLH. Who's late now? He's not even ready to take over, to challenge you guys. There's a disappointment. Did he say that he was late when he wrote "you are late"? Is he French? And then when he said "you are late," it means that no, I am late. I'm very confused. He's not live. Now it's him who's late. And I'm just trying to make time go past because I want to raid him. But I guess those who are not live will not get the raid. What channel is he on? Mr. Dodgy with the 3-month Twitch Prime. Yes! Babbling for incoherently pays off yet again. We get a Twitch Prime sub. The internet will break if you raid someone hosting yourself. If we break the internet, would it really be the worst thing though, Mr. Dodgy? We could actually get on with our lives. Okay, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. We're done. I have no idea where Fress is. What can I say? He's not my level of streamer. Maybe he's having technical issues. Who knows? Adios, everyone, and have a good Monday evening. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the program we have for you on this Chess24 birthday stream.